If you're switching strategies every time you lose, you're not confused, you're impatient. And impatience doesn't have a setup. You think you're searching for the right system. You're not. You're searching for a reason to feel in control again. Every new strategy is a hit. Every new mentor is a fresh start. Every new indicator is the thing that's finally gonna fix you. None of it is. I know because I did the same thing for a long time. Different system every month. Different mentor every quarter. Different idea every week. Getting closer, I told myself. I wasn't. Here's what most traders don't want to hear. The strategy was never the problem. If you've been trading for more than a year and you're still not profitable, the issue isn't what you're doing on the chart. The issue is what you're doing between trades. Watch how a losing trader moves after a red day. They open YouTube, they find someone new, they learn a new setup. They convince themselves this is different. By next Friday, they're looking again. That's not study, that's avoidance dressed up as effort. And the reason it feels productive is because it's the only part of the process you can control instantly. You can't make the market pay you today. You can't force a winning setup to appear. But you can absolutely spend 6 hours watching a new course and feel like you did something. You didn't. You just moved the goalpost one more time. The real pattern underneath strategy switching is impatience. You're not willing to sit in the discomfort of an edge that works slowly. You want the discomfort to end now. So you change the variable that's easiest to change, the system, and pretend you're solving the problem. You're not solving anything, you're just renaming it. A working edge is boring. That's the part nobody tells you. A real framework applied for the 400th time feels like doing your taxes. No rush, no adrenaline, no revelation. Just the same thing, done again, slightly better than last time. If your process gives you a rush, that's a signal something is wrong, not a signal something is right. Strategy switching is the shallow version. Under it, there's something deeper, the need to be right. Most traders aren't trying to make money, they'd say they are. But watch their behavior. They hold losers too long, they move stops, they cut winners early to lock in the feeling of I was right. They skip trades after a loss because they can't tolerate being wrong twice in a row. None of that is profit-seeking behavior, that's identity protection. Because when you take a trade, you're not just placing a bet on price, you're placing a bet on yourself, on your read, on your analysis, on your judgment. And when the market moves against you, it doesn't just cost you money. It tells you your read was wrong, your analysis was wrong, you were wrong. And for most people, that's the part they can't sit with. So they do what the ego does, they negotiate, it'll come back, I just need to give it room, the market's manipulated, my analysis is correct, the timing is off. That's not risk management. That's a conversation between you and your self-image. The trade is already over, you just haven't closed it yet because closing it means admitting something about you. I know this because I did it. I'd hold losers until they hit my emergency stop because the moment I closed early meant I was wrong on purpose. Like voluntarily admitting it made it worse. It didn't, it made it cheaper. Every time I waited, the cost went up. Not the dollar cost, the confidence cost. The next trade got harder, the one after that got harder. That's how tilt starts. Not in the account, in the head. The fix isn't complicated, it's uncomfortable. You have to separate the trade from you. The trade is a hypothesis. The market either confirms it or it doesn't. Neither outcome says anything about you. Your job is to execute. The market's job is to be the market. If you merge those two jobs, you will lose for the rest of your career. Guaranteed. Here's the test. Next time you take a loss, ask yourself one question. Am I upset because I lost money or because I was wrong? If it's the second one, you're not trading, you're defending. Now we get to the real one. Because under impatience and under ego, there's the pattern that actually sinks most traders. And it's the hardest to see in yourself. Your trading is tied to your identity. Not your strategy, not your ego, who you think you are. You don't just want to make money, you want to be a trader. The kind that people ask about at dinner, the kind that posts screenshots, the kind that quit the job. That version of you needs wins to exist. Without wins, that version dies. So every trade stops being a trade and starts being a referendum on whether that person is real. This is why smart people blow up accounts. Not because they don't know the math, because losing means something about who they are, and they will risk real money to protect a fake version of themselves every single time. Watch what happens after a bad week. A real trader does a review, looks at setups, adjusts risk, goes back to work. Someone with an identity problem does something different. They get louder, they post more, they double position size on Monday to make it back. They argue with people in comments, they change their bio. None of that is trading. That's a person trying to convince themselves they still are who they said they were. And the tell is this, the worse they're doing, the more they need to perform. Because the performance is holding up the identity. Take the performance away and the identity collapses. So they keep performing even when the performance is what's killing the account. The way out is ugly. You have to be willing to be nobody for a while. A trader who isn't winning and isn't pretending to Someone who just shows up, takes the setup, follows the rules, and goes about their day. No post, no flex, no narrative, just the work. Most people can't do that. They'd rather blow the account than live without the story. That's not a skill problem. That's a self-worth problem, and it will never be solved inside the chart. I'm not saying I've fully beaten this one. Nobody has, but I know when it's running. And when I catch it running, I close the platform. Because trying to trade while defending your identity is the single fastest way to lose everything. 3 patterns, 1 route. Strategy switching is impatience. Impatience is the refusal to sit with slow progress. The need to be right is ego. Ego is the refusal to separate outcome from self. The identity problem is self-worth. Self-worth is the refusal to exist without a win attached to your name. All 3 run at the same time. All 3 get worse in drawdown. All 3 feel like they're about the market. None of them are. The market is a mirror. What you're actually fighting is the version of yourself that shows up when money is on the line. And here's the part most traders never get to. The mirror doesn't lie. Every trade is telling you something about you. Not about the pair, not about the session, about you. The trader who reads those signals and adjusts is the trader who survives. The one who keeps blaming the chart is the one who doesn't. If any of this hit, stop scrolling and sit with it for a minute before your next trade. Not the next hour, the next trade. Ask which pattern was running. Be honest, that's the whole fix. If you want the framework we use inside Allwyn to build this out session by session, message me. I'll send the breakdown. No pitch, just the structure. Lock it in or don't. That part's on you.